Welcome back to the Lights Out podcast, bedtime stories for boys and girls around the world. Good evening, boys and girls. Are you ready for bed? Are you all snuggled up and ready for another Lights Out bedtime story? Good, because you're in for a treat tonight. We have a book called Bridget Fidget and the Most Perfect Pet by Berger. And now, with over 400 episodes on this podcast, we are well on our way to our mission of 1,000 ad-free stories forever for boys and girls around the world. But back to the story, because it's all about the stories. Bridget Fidget. Once upon a time, Bridget Fidget had always wanted a pet unicorn called Thunderhooves. So when the doorbell rang, she leaped out of bed, put her clothes on, and raced down the stairs with her favourite toy, Captain Cat. Psst, it must be the pet shop man with a pet for me. But when Bridget got downstairs, all she found was a great big box. It was decorated with lovely ribbons that probably said, "Congratulations," and "Here's your new pet," or something like that. It's a bit small for a unicorn, she thought, and it was filled with all sorts of snow. Maybe it's a penguin Captain Cat. But once the snow was all out, all that was left was another, smaller box. This box wouldn't open. Bridget sniffed it. It didn't smell. She shook it. It didn't squeak. Bridget rolled it. It didn't skitter. Just then the box began to make a noise. Zzz. It's asleep! Captain Cat, there's a sleepy little secret pet in the box, and we need to wake it up. But Daddy was already in the shower. So Bridget took the box up in bed with Mummy. Bridget Fidget! Daddy didn't like the snow one bit. He made a lot of noise, which woke Mummy up. Luckily, Daddy cheered up when he saw the box. What is it? It's a pet! In its own house, and it's going to live on my bedroom wall. There's a clock on the house, and when it's time to get up, the clock goes ding, the door opens and cuckoo, cuckoo, clunk. Bridget couldn't help feeling a little disappointed. "I want a real, live pet," she shouted. But then the noise started again, and from a little window on the side of the clock flew a real, live ladybug. A ladybug that was much less skittery than a pet mouse. It could fly much higher than a pet penguin, and, as for its dancing, easily as good as a pet unicorn. Bridget called a ladybug Thunderhooves, and it was the perfect name for the perfect pet for her. After all, she'd always wanted a ladybug, hadn't she? And that's a book called Bridget Fidget and the Most Perfect Pet Ladybug by Berger, here on the Lights Out podcast, bedtime stories for boys and girls around the world. Good night.